So he left. 30 minutes later, the owner comes out with his zipper still down. He's about 72 years old, hair sticking up in the air. Hey, you guys, I'm sorry to tell you, but I got complaints, and it's after quiet time. We're like, quiet time? It's fucking 10 o'clock. Well, that's quiet time. You got to kind of tone it down. So we won't go back there. We'll go to a little bit more active.
Yeah. I don't mind losing sleep. Because if you're there to have a good time.
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll do it a little different. And it's a learning experience. First time I'd ever been to Bike Week. So it was really cool. It was fun. And then the last night, at our RV site, apparently that's the big spot for the burning bike. That's what they're known for. It's at the Volusia County Fairgrounds. And they have this massive...
40 foot tall.
It was 40 feet tall, and it's all made out of wood. It looks like a skeleton on a big chopper, okay? Mm-hmm. And if it was 40 feet tall, it had to be at least 90 feet long.
Yeah.
So it's a replica of, like, the Burning Man in the desert.
Yeah, in the Black Rock Desert.
And they burn the damn thing down in 20 minutes.
Wow.
You'll be surprised how quickly this thing falls to the ground.
Yeah, how many people do you think came out for the Burning Man?
Oh, there was a few thousand people there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
packed.
Yeah, so everyone's out there, and of course they have a bikini contest initially, and now this is pretty funny. So they bring the bikini contest girls out, and they're asking them questions. I'm like,
don't ask them questions.
Why?
Nobody cares.
Well, yeah, nobody cares. So the first gal up, they're asking the same questions. What is your idea of the perfect vacation? They stick the microphone in her face, and she goes, well, I think I would like to go to the Dominican Republic and just lay on the beach.
And I want to go with you, baby.
I'm like, really?
The Dominican
I got that
Republican.
in my backyard.
Exactly.
Wow.
And there were 3 just smoking hot chicks, and then there was one ugly duckling that I was like, whoa. What is she doing up there?
Was she a butterface?
No.
Butter,
period.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of what
She didn't win then.
No. She did, and she didn't get runner-up. Or Miss Congeniality.
She got the purple participant ribbon?
Yeah, maybe.
pretty much.
Yeah, so that was our last night. That was the last hurrah at our campground. So they had the burning bike, and we had a couple beers, and we went. Well, prior to that, we went back and loaded up the trailer. We got everything, all the bikes, all 5 bikes, back in the trailer, loaded up because we were going to head out early. So what happens? Fucking Harp wakes up at 4 in the morning. 4 in the fucking morning. I'm laying in the rack. And he could hear me fucking stirring around. He goes, Maddog, you up? All right, let's just fucking do it.
Time to go?
Yep.
Time to go.
This was the last day then?
Yeah. Hit it at 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's what we did.
Yeah, when it's done, it's time to go.
It's done. When it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any better at 6.
Nope.
So all we had to do was pull the plug and go, because the night before we had loaded the bikes. We had already emptied the shitter. We had pulled the water. All we had to do is literally just pull the electric cord, wrap it up, throw it in, tighten everything down, batten down the hatches.
Head home.
Yep.
22 hours to get home, too?
No, we got back a lot
Fucking
quicker.
hustled. Yeah, we got back in 18, even though we stopped in Nashville, Illinois, which is a really cool little town that apparently Harp knows a guy in the witness protection plan. His name's Frank.
Frank Guillermo's Pizza in Nashville, Illinois. If you ever go there, it's best pizza ever. Way to go, Frank.
Frank's not his real name, I guess.
It is his real name.
But his last
Frank Guillermo. And I might be messing it up a little bit, but I don't think I am.
That's his real name?
Yep. They're all Sicilian. They're Sicilian.
You say he's in witness protection.
Well, I always made fun of him because his whole family lives there, and they have a pizza joint, and he has a motocross suspension in his back.
So
office.
He's not really in the witness protection program.
And he has land and real estate.
He might be.
But Nashville, Illinois is just a little bitty hick town. There's nobody there.
Yeah, population
And
272.
his family's from Sicily. They're not from there. So I give him crap, about that.
And the crazy thing was
the best pizza ever.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that whole thing about Illinois shutting down, and the next day they shut all the restaurants down. So we got a carry-out pizza from Frank's.
No, we
on
had
way
the
home.
All-American last vacation. It was done after us.
Yeah.
We had last pizza, the last vacation.
Yep. It'll come back.
It will.
It will.
It will.
Something sooner or later, it's going to come back.
It's got to.
You have to get rid of the old COVID-19. So.
Clear it up.
Now, I do have to tell you this. This
Sure.
is funny because one of the it wasn't a restaurant, a gas station that we stopped at, some dirty-ass, skanky Indian, that's Dot, not Feather, gas station that was just filthy. I mean, it was freaking filthy. You walk in, and first it stinks. And you look at the floors, they haven't been mopped in a month. And the old gal behind the counter doesn't speak English, but she doesn't speak Spanish either. And then you go into the restroom, and you're just like, man, I can't touch anything in here. You're standing about 3 feet back from the urinal. It was disgusting, dude. It was just freaking disgusting. And that was our last stop on the way home.
Bathrooms in the South quite often are like that, but
Yeah.
Illinois, not so much usually.
No. And that's the way a trip ends, and then the next day you got to go work. Damn it. Oh, well.
Well, next year will be another adventure, I'm quite sure.
Sure will.
My next adventure is going to be back up in Washington State over the 4th of July. We're going to run up to Lake Chelan and spend 4th of July weekend up there. So that'll be crazy.
That'd be beautiful.
With the atomic oven?
With the atomic oven.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And then Cortez is probably sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's coming.
Can't wait for that.
That's coming.
He didn't even invite me, but I invited myself.
Well, there you go. You taking the RV or
You're damn right. It's my
Really?
home. It's my home away from home.
Nice.
Just
Nice.
plug it in.
He's got a big old house, and I don't even need it.
Very good. 1 hour, 37 minutes. Nice podcast, gentlemen. Thank you so much for sharing your adventure. I appreciate it. Again, the adventure of a lifetime, 3 times a year. That's what you should shoot for. Even with the COVID-19, you should shoot for that. Adventure of a lifetime, 3 times a year. And you should always do your best to listen to the James Strong Show. I'm looking for my... Here it is.
Where can you find the James Strong Show?
Yep. I'm glad you asked that, Mad Dog. You can find it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Facebook, Twitter.
Player FM. That's a new one. I haven't heard of that one.
I've been on Player FM for quite some time.
Where did we pull it up when we were in the
YouTube.
RV? We pulled it up on YouTube.
You can pick it up on YouTube, TuneIn, Radio Online, the podcast app, Spotify, Google Podcasts, CastBox, SoundCloud, Deezer, and Spreaker.com.
That's where I get it. I get it on Spreaker.
Yeah, that's where most
I
people
download it on Spreaker. On
Yeah,
my phone.
most people actually get it from Spreaker or iTunes. And
But iTunes you have to pay for, don't you?
No, not at all.
No?
It's a free podcast. If I wanted to charge, you'd have to pay for it, but I'm a benevolent guy. I don't charge for the podcast. The best way to get it, send me an email. Send your email address to me, jamesstrongshow@hotmail.com, all one word. What I do then is upon publication of the podcast, I send it to you right as the show drops. I send it to you, and then you can download it and listen to it at your leisure. Mad Dog, Harpdog, the podcast of the dogs and their Florida trip.
Woof, 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 woof.
Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate the time.
thank
and
you.
I appreciate the sharing the adventure. That's it. We're done. Until next time, this is James Strong saying adios.
Peace.